Well, all right, guys. Welcome to another episode of How Ugly Is My Face? And today I came with the Booga Squeer. Yeah, of course. The Booga Squeer. Look at that. And look at this cool stuff over here. It's amazing. Take a screen grab and study this in your own time. Anyway. What I wanted to talk about is a few things. First of all, let's take a look at the molage. It's not a lot different from yesterday. So there's a big issue here with the microlesion therapy. I'm not doing it well enough. It's a little bit red here. So I'm not doing it well enough. I need to step up the game to the next level. But it probably won't happen unless I get some free time. And what that means is if my, let's say, family decided to go on vacation for a few weeks, that would make it so that I could fully concentrate on my diet, exercise, and push myself to the next level so that then the microlesion therapy would be even better. There's an issue with, how do I say this? The chemicals that I use on my body are very stinky, and so therefore I can't really allow the microlesion therapy to do its job as it should, because it requires me to wet my skin, or basically shower more often than needed, and therefore the microlesion therapy does not work the way it should. Anyway, the microlesion therapy. The rebirth by a trillion lesions, where we feed our muscles and bones and not our cancers. But what I've noticed that with my particular skin, because my skin is so incredibly wet all the time, and I struggle with not drinking because right now it is the hot season, and I enjoy being in the sun and all that stuff, and that's still not enough to dry out my skin. Because unlike those people who suffer from psoriasis and all that kind of stuff, my skin is wet and greasy all the time. So the chemicals that I use help me out in drying out the skin. But if I don't do the thing that boxers do, where you try to dry out your skin, you eat dry, you dry out your skin, you don't shower a lot and all that stuff, and you keep the chemicals on you and use chemicals that dry out your skin, the microlesion therapy isn't that effective. And as you guys can see, I think we're getting close to some sort of a plateau, and the thing is not doing any better than it can. I think we've kind of reached a position where we'll see. I'm getting a little bit more sleep, which does help with a little bit of the wrinkles, but not that much. So yeah, I think maybe at some point, if my family decides to go on vacation or something, I will be able to step up my game, and maybe we'll see these go away altogether. Maybe even these will go away altogether. I'm not sure about the moles, because some of these moles, like this one right here and this one right here, are stubborn. They just don't want to go away. Same as this area here. Is not improving. So there we go. So that's something that I wanted to talk about there. And then I wanted to talk about AI. Will AI save us? Well, it could, but not in cities like Los Angeles. Okay, so imagine this is a road, right? This is a road right here, and these are houses. You see how the houses are set up? They're sort of like squares or rectangles, and there's a main straight road. And here, this could be a neighborhood, so you could have a few houses with sort of a grid system. Now, if we had things like this, it would be easy to set up AI, drones, whether they're, robots that are wandering the road, or like in a bike lane or something, or just on the sidewalk, whatever, to do different things, do different applications for the houses here. You could 3D print houses. You could have robots that go to all the different houses and maintain the houses and all that kind of stuff. That looks rather easy. Even if there's a few trees, and we all know what Ken Heron thinks about trees, you still would be able to kind of like set things up so that the robots get to the houses, do the maintenance, do the cleaning, whatever, without so much interference with trees and stuff like that, because it's so simplistic, right? Look at this. Like, even a kid can now use vibe coding to set up robots that can do all this kind of stuff. But what if we have sort of curves in the road, and then you have multiple curves, and now all the houses are at different angles? Or what if houses aren't just rectangles, you have a bunch of different shapes like this? So that is why Los Angeles, for instance, is a horrible place for AI to take over, to do cool stuff with machine learning and all that stuff, and create a whole new system where, for instance, we could have all the streets being cleaned by robots. We could have all the roads being repaired by robots. We could have all cables and underground plumbing and all this kind of stuff all done by robots. If we had simple setups, right? That's what I said. If we wanted to, we could have all of these self-sustained or self-implemented cities, for instance, for the homeless. You could put the homeless in these cities. They would have a place to sleep, a place to, the bathrooms and all that stuff, and a place to have their activities and all that stuff without having to worry about them. The machines would take care of the whole thing. But we can't. We can't, because Los Angeles is so diverse and so messed up that it's impossible to create anything with robots. And so it's not the future. It's just not the future. So, okay, that was the episode today, and I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I said before, with the microlesion therapy, we've kind of plateaued. We'll see if it can get any better or worse. So far, it's kind of like this. Thanks for watching.